Alright, welcome back. Namaste ji, this is Vish and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we are going to learn how to create this beautiful double exposure effect. So without any further ado, let's get rolling into today's video. Alright, so first things first, what we are going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a new file with 1080 by 720p. Make sure that the resolution is set to 300 pixels for maximum output, and we are going to go ahead and create a new file. Alright, let's go ahead and populate our files right over here. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this in the second folder. So this second folder will be available for download down in the description for you guys, so that you can also download and follow along the tutorial with me. With that aside, let's get going with today's tutorial. There are multiple photos, but this is the one that I'm going to use for today's tutorial. Most of the time in double exposure posters, you will see a side profile, because there's a lot of things that you can work with the side profile. And we are going to do exactly that in this tutorial. All right, I'm going to commit on it. After that, let's isolate the subject from the background. There are multiple ways of isolating the subject from the background. However, this is not that tutorial. We are not going to learn, but I'm going to show you a couple of ways how you can go ahead and do that. One of the way is just go ahead and click on select subject. What it's going to do is it's going to select the subject right over here. Okay. And after that, all you can do is just hit on the mask. Okay, and it's going to isolate the subject from the mask. Okay, all right, so it has isolated. If we close the background, you can see it has done a pretty good job. And as you can see, our subject is missing a shoulder. Let's go ahead and fill the shoulder with the help of marquee selection tool and content aware generative fill. We are going to hit generative fill, and let's go ahead and hit generate. What it's going to do is AI is going to give you a couple of variations. It's going to generate the variations, trying to fill in the missing parts. Okay, as you can see, this shoulder just popped out, and we've got a couple more options. I think I'm happy with the first one. I'm just going to stick with this one. Okay, once you're happy with that, let's go ahead and merge both the layers. We are going to select both the layers, right click and click on merge layers. And now it turns into a single image. Let's go ahead and write it as subject. As you can also see, when I turn off my background, along with the shoulder, it has also given us the background, okay, which is white in color. We do not require this. To isolate this, there are multiple ways, obviously using the pen tool as well. There is one option right over here, remove background, right? If you click on that, you can see that the background is removed. Okay. All right. So let's turn on our background layer. I'm gonna go ahead and select my second photo that we are going to use, which is going to be this photo. Okay. Let's go ahead and reduce the opacity so that we can see how the photo looks if we double expose it with the image. I want that to be pretty visible, the road and everything. I'm gonna bring the road right over here. I think that looks good to me. Yes, all right. Just gonna adjust it properly. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Let's commit on that. So this is how it is going to double expose itself with the subject. Now let's go ahead and increase the opacity all the way to 100%. I'm gonna go ahead and just gonna use, I think I'm happy with screen. You can also use lighten, but I think I'll go with screen for this one. Okay. Okay, so we have just created that, and let's go ahead and create a layer mask. Okay, I'm going to create a layer mask for this particular background. Okay, and just gonna clean it using the paintbrush tool. So what it's going to do is, if we paint it black. Oops. All right, so black and white. Okay, so if we paint it black, what it's going to do is it's going to chip off, remove, basically erase, without being non-destructive, without being destructive. Okay, it's going to erase the background and show us the foreground. Okay, I want the face to be visible right over here. Also gonna give it some, yeah, something like that, and I'm happy with that. If you want to again bring back your background, all you have to do is switch the layer to white, and it's going to bring back something like that. But I think I'm happy with that. Okay, let's use one more, and once you are happy with that, let's also go ahead and clip it. To clip it, it's quite simple. Okay, clip this layer with respect to our subject layer. Okay, what it's going to do is, even if you change the color of the background right now, when we have done the screen effect right over here, because the background was white, but if suppose the background color was something else, so for example, let me show you. I'm actually gonna go ahead and delete this background. Don't worry, we are going to fix this. What I'm going to do is gonna go ahead and create a background with solid color, and it's going to be white. Let us bring the background right at the back. Okay, now let me show you. If I go ahead and change the color of the background to something else, it's going to completely change the effect. The effect is created with respect to the white background. So therefore, it is naturally clipping inside the subject. Okay. Therefore, this background is naturally clipping inside the subject. Hope that is clear. Okay. Cannot get any easier than that. Okay. All right. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, however, clip this background with respect to the subject. And it could be done by clicking Alt on your keyboard. And I'm gonna click it right over here. It's going to clip it now. Now, even if I change the color of the background, it's still going to stay clipped, as you can see right over here. I'm gonna cancel that. Okay. All right. And just to finish this up, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some birds to our background. You know, not the background. Actually, I'm gonna keep it right over here. Okay. Let's transform it by hitting T on the keyboard. I'm gonna place it right over here, the birds. Reduce the opacity just to check how it's going to look. Let's keep it above the mountains because the birds are gonna fly above the mountain. But at the same time, I want it to give that 3D effect of the birds flying out of his brains. Okay, just gonna do that, and let's commit on it. Gonna increase the opacity, and now let's use darken. I think darken is looks good to me. After that, we are going to refine this. Let's create a layer mask, and we are going to use the paintbrush tool. I'm going to just kind of do that, soften it so that it looks as if it's the birds are flying out of the brain. Gonna keep it right over there. Shorten it down a little bit. Let's check if everything looks fine. We've still got some unevenness. Gonna use the paintbrush. Gonna select this, and I'm going to paint on that. Okay, that looks fine. Let's go to this. I'm gonna use the subject and I'm gonna paint white, fade it out actually. Okay, so that it looks seamless. We don't want the hair, we want it to seamlessly blend with the birds right over here. Yes, that looks beautiful. All right. Well, now if you want, you can also go ahead and use some gradient that if you want to. I think I'm happy with this. If you want to, you can go ahead and use it. I'm happy with this. Okay, go ahead, experiment and enjoy. Alright, so that is it from this video. This is the double exposure effect. Hope you liked it. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I want you all to go ahead and also comment if you love the video. If you have any feedback that you want to give it to me, do go ahead and give it down in the description below. And also write down your ideas or any other concept that you want to learn from me in this particular YouTube channel. So namaste ji, this is Vish. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye and take care.